Okay, John's showing me some more of these strange metal artifacts. Look at this. What kind of metal is that, John?
This is extrusion again.
What does that extrusion mean?
Oh, it's used in machining stock. This one here was cut off by a power hacksaw, and the other end of it looks like it was in a four-jaw chuck lathe. You can see where the lathe comes to a point there.
Oh, yeah, okay. So that's manufactured metal, is it? Is that what that means?
Used in making products and that. You can buy it, it's called bar stock you buy.
Oh, okay.
You usually buy it by the foot.
Can I feel it?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, that is absolutely bizarre. I mean, you couldn't even... This would be hard to try and fake. I mean, to try and... Has anyone ever accused you of it being fake?
No.
No one at all?
No, and people don't even want to even talk about it. If they're trying to call me a fake, they just...
No,
they
you know
talk
what
about
people
the levitation, you know.
You know what people are like. I mean, there's so many idiots out there.
Yeah, they'll say I tipped the room upside down and I'm filming everything upside down. Oh, they won't touch the metal.
Oh, have they said that to you? That you've tipped the room upside down?
Yeah.
Oh, ridiculous.
Skeptics, they're funny people.
Yeah, but these skeptics, some of them come up with the most stupidest stuff.
This one's got a block of wood in it. We shaved it down to expose the wood.
How did it get wood inside it?
Floated right into it.
Hey?
It got floated right into it.
Hang on, so the wood melted into the metal?
Yep.
Where's the wood? Oh, underneath.
Oh,
shit.
There's a cubic inch of wood in there. And
that is bizarre.
Yeah, that's we found also that Siemens labs in Germany found bars with sawdust in it too. I'm told by Roland.
That is so odd, isn't it?
It's two of these. And this is the game.
Look at that.
Getting to other metals like brass.
And you have no idea why this happens. It just happens.
I have an idea in my mind why it happens, yeah.
Okay, but there's no
schematics or diagrams really, but this is like...
Well, this must have freaked you out when you first saw this, John. Seriously. I mean...
not that much, to be honest. I was throwing some of them away in the 80s and...
What?
I couldn't use them for machining purposes, so Pizarro said, "You did what?"
Yeah.
John, are you crazy? I said, "Why? I can't use them. They're useless." And he went out and got them out of Mrs. Murphy's garbage can. I said, "Okay, so it is important."
Because he wanted to show the world, of course.
And those are smaller ones than these things. The Chathaway has, and this is brass. Again, it's roughly your long bars of brass.
Oh, that's heavy, eh? Shit. And this is what happened to him. How old are they? This like, what, done 10 years ago? 20 years ago?
Mid-1980s, roughly.
Man, that's incredible.
Goes back...
It is so heavy. I mean, it's like it's almost like it's... I mean, the way I'd understand it as a layman, it's like it's been zapped with electricity or something.
That's some of the theories that some scientists said, that accusing us of fakery by saying we have a huge laboratory where we use lightning bolts.
Yeah, right. Where's the huge laboratory? What a lie.
I know, that was...
They're just trying to... You know what these scientists are like? None of them would ever be a real kind of maverick kind of scientist like you are, out there trying to do real stuff. They're all just they're all so safe, you know what I mean, John? They just want to...
in their own world.
Mm.
Let's see, we're getting into more floating materials, like this one here.
What the hell is that?
This one is a knife got caught in there, so we used a shaping machine that cut it down to expose the knife, but not cut the whole thing in half. We just wanted to show what it would look like that way.
Man, that is absolutely weird. But what happened? Did this get up and float across the room and stick into the metal?
Oh, and actually, when we're doing experiments, sometimes what we do is place objects on on top of one another to see if it'll lift off.
Oh, I see.
Like, oh, it's something like this. lay them out like that, or wood on top of something, or a magnet or something.
And then you see it start melting into each other, kind of thing.
This one is yet again another stainless bar that is totally rotted away and looks like it aged. And oddly enough, it seems to be smaller here.
Could it be?
Like almost like it was going to be pulled apart.
Shit.
But didn't.
You know when you said it aged. What if you were transporting this metal into time, far into the future, but you could still see it? Could that be it?
That was suggested by Roland Brito in Germany.
Best though, I just got this feeling because you just said it aged. What if you were aging it 1 billion years right in front of your eyes? And so that's what happens eventually to metal. But would it happen to metal in 1 billion years?
It appears like it would.
My God. So then you may have solved time travel then.
I don't know, but it's possible.
Wow.
I'm confirming only what Roland is saying. It appears like that's true with these things. And then Roland says the metals are accelerating in time still after the equipment's turned off, because the crystals keep changing all the time inside the metal structure.
Right.
And I had one piece I sent to George Hathaway, which it was always flaking apart, rusting extremely fast. Wow. And it was magnetic at one end. So I said, well, George, this is what some people say it is. It's going ahead in time. And this would look like something you'd find as a relic, actually.
Yeah, like as if... Yeah. That is very bizarre.
And it's smaller for some reason here than around this part. But it's ordinary stock. I think you can see the lines where they cut it off on a bandsaw.
Mm.
And here it's aged quite a bit on this. Like here,
When did you start doing these experiments? Like at what age?
no, with the Tesla technology, about 1979 actually.
1979.
More in here, do I? Lots of them. Whole barrels of them. There's one in here I thought I had. It's the other piece to here where, nope. There was one piece that, this is again bar stock, but this thing split. Just fell apart, and you can see it all split down here.
So really, every time you do an experiment, it's unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. You just...
No, that's true. That's very true. I don't know. It is unpredictable.
And do you ever feel like your life's in danger? Has it ever got to a point where you thought, hang on, I might be mucking around with something, that's out of control? Or?
That happened this Christmas with Tom Sky, when he got too close to the field and felt it.
Wow.
Plus 10 city square blocks in this area felt it too, which prompted, I think, the fire investigation people. Everybody was talking about, doctors were talking about what I was doing here, and probably the complaints hit City Hall.
It's funny in a way, though. I mean, it's brilliant what you're doing, but at the same time,
people would go to the news media about what I was doing and then talk about their ornaments dissolving, which luckily I got a copy of those videos.
Did some of their things float around in the apartments around here?
Yes.
Shit.
Or some of them would fall apart. The other part of that.
But have any of them gone on camera to say that's what happened?
Yes, actually they do.
Fantastic.
And I have those videos because I asked them for the copy and they gave me a copy of the videos. Of course, I'm getting interviewed too.
So it's good. That means your neighbours are on your side. They really... They must have freaked them out, though.
Yeah. A lot of them some of them get angry, and they said, I hear these weird sounds in my place, and were you running your equipment? And I said, yes, unfortunately I was. I said, okay, because sometimes doors will open and close by themselves, things will fall apart.
I wonder whether then that's like, when people say that ghosts exist. Maybe they don't. Maybe it's like electromagnetic energy or something, maybe...
I think it could be.
Like maybe they don't really exist, ghosts. Like when they say poltergeist and things get thrown around the room. It sounds similar to like what you're doing with science.
Could very well be, and could be explained maybe by Booker Bay, Australia.
In Australia?
Mm-hmm.
What's the Australian connection?
There is an Australian connection, and it's Booker Bay. Mr. Harrington.
Oh, Booker Bay. You mentioned to me on the phone you had a friend in Booker Bay, yes.
Mr. Harrington and his wife observed something that a team of scientists observed, written up in a report which I did have, on objects turning soft as well as people being pushed around and ghostly activity, which is actually covered by Channel 4 and it was also covered by Dr. Hal Pudoff, a friend of mine, a U.S. scientist, and Paul Devereaux, another U.S. scientist, and it's a report that's not classified, but it's called sensitive.
Wow.
I was impressed in what I read about that report.
Is it public on the web, or is it...
Not yet, although Alec has a copy of it, and I should have asked him for it back, but I could probably get more from Mr. Harrington. But I did get an official copy.
Maybe you can publicise all this on your TV show.
That I did talk about it, and it's been mentioned by Kevin that that would be a good topic to go directly there and exploring the unknown, unheard of Booker Bay, Australia.
Wow.
It's not talked about.
So it's an incident that happened at Booker Bay.
Yeah.
Really?
Amazing stuff.
Is that all you can tell me, or is...
Well, that's what I know is that Mr. Harrington told me the story about it.
What actually happened? What did...
Strange lights appeared on the ground. People were being moved and pushed around.
Oh my God.
It was covered by Channel 4.
Okay.
Dr. Hal Pudoff was called in, as well as Paul Devereaux.
How long ago was this?
1995 only.
Wow, so that's very recent.
It's almost like another situation with the South Pole where time was reversed back.
Could it have been a government experiment, or it's just a natural phenomenon that occurred? And
I think it's natural.
wow.
I'm not ruling out, it could be. Government does some pretty wild things, but this was quite a thing that happened there, and it was well documented by top scientists, which interests me to actually go there. And
Oh, did you actually go to Booker Bay?
not yet.
But you're going.
I mentioned it to the producers; they thought it was a good idea to cover it.
Hey, John, if you ever come to Australia, please, look me up, because
Absolutely.
you know what, I could show you all of Sydney. I'll drive you around. I'll show you all the best parts of Sydney. I'll just do a tour for you.
I love Australians. I had a number of them.
Yeah, well,
like Clara Bonham and others.
well, I'm ready and willing to take you on the best trip of Sydney, a personalised guided tour. You just tell me when you're coming.
I sure will.
And then I'll be there, and I'll drive you around. It'll be good fun.
I think I'll look forward to that.
Well, I'll take you to all the best spots.
Think of Australia and how I'd love to go there and see it,
Well, you've got to come down. You'd be most welcome. My God, you have to be all over the news. You got to meet the Prime Minister. They got to know about you.
Oh my.
John, I'll get going. But it's fantastic thanks for allowing me to come over and meet you.
Oh, a real pleasure, sir. It's good to see you.
And,